Hello, my name is Will Parrish and I'm the Senior Planner with the City of Buda. We're here today in downtown to discuss development within the Historic Overlay District. If you would like to develop a business within an existing building within the downtown district, the Downtown Historic District, you will want to consider what modifications you might want to make to that building. If the building is generally in the condition that you wish it to be, particularly on the exterior, you may be able to just go straight into the building and do interior modifications compliant with building code without having to do additional historic preservation related work to the exterior. However, if there's something about the exterior that you would like to change, anything visible from the public right-of-way would have to go to the Historic Preservation Commission for review and approval. This would include changes to windows, doors, awnings, arcades, and signage would all be included, as well as facade materials and any additional rooftop mechanical equipment or additional building expansions that you would like to consider. In terms of permits for this work, all required building permits that would be required in any development situation, in addition to a certificate of appropriateness from the Historic Preservation Commission. You would need the certificate of appropriateness prior to any building permits being issued that would affect the exterior of the building. If you were just doing an interior finish out and you were not modifying the exterior of the building, there would be no additional permits beyond the building permits required. If you have a vacant lot that you're interested in developing within the Historic District, the Historic Preservation Commission will need to review all proposed structure designs with an emphasis on the exterior, particularly the exterior as it's visible from the public right-of-way. Additionally, you will want to consider drainage and parking and all of the things that would be required if you were to develop outside of the historic district. If you want to preserve or rehabilitate an existing structure, we recommend that you come speak to city staff and discuss your ideas prior to submitting an application to the Historic Preservation Commission. There are several different ways you can go about modifying a structure. If you want to rehabilitate an existing structure, the standards are slightly different than if you were looking to truly preserve and landmark a structure. Things to consider are whether or not you are wanting to modify the door frames or the window frames. And a big one to consider is always signage. Signage is something that does have to go in front of the Historic Preservation Commission and get a separate sign permit. So when considering design plans for any existing or proposed structure, citizens should always take into consideration building codes, particularly for the International Residential Code and the International Building Code. In addition to that, the applicants should look at our historic preservation guidelines, which state what types of materials may be appropriate and what types of building design may be appropriate based on what you are proposing to construct. If you submit an application to the HPC that is denied, the HPC will typically state the reasons for denial, and staff would recommend that you take those considerations and amend your application to address HPC's concerns and resubmit after addressing those concerns. After obtaining a certificate of appropriateness from the Historic Preservation Commission, staff would recommend that you submit your building plans and building permits, as well as your site plans, for official review by city staff. And then, as long as your site plans and building plans are compliant with all codes and ordinances, they will be reviewed for approval, and then you will be released to construct. If you're considering opening a business anywhere between City Park and Buda Mill and Grain, I would recommend you come speak to city staff in order to determine if you are within the historic overlay district or not.